Ladies and gentlemen, today let's talk about something interesting, something that happens every single day but often goes unnoticed. You see, men observe far more than they let on, and sometimes the little things, the things women don't even realize, make the biggest impact. Confidence is one of those qualities that speaks long before a single word is uttered. It is in the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way your presence fills a room. Long before a conversation begins, confidence has already introduced you. It's an unspoken language, a silent power that instantly commands attention and respect. When a person walks with their head held high, shoulders back, and eyes forward, it sends a clear message. It says, I belong here, I know who I am. And that message is powerful. People naturally gravitate toward those who exude self-assurance because confidence is reassuring. It's a sign of strength, of self-respect, of inner certainty. It doesn't mean arrogance or superiority. It simply means a person is at peace with themselves. And that energy is magnetic. Men in particular notice this about women more than most realize. A woman who walks into a room with quiet confidence, who doesn't shrink herself to fit in, who owns her space, she is instantly intriguing. It's not about the clothes she wears or the makeup she has on. It's about the way she carries herself. Does she seem comfortable in her own skin? Does she stand tall rather than slouch? Does she walk with purpose rather than hesitancy? These subtle details reveal so much about how a person sees themselves, and that perception influences how others see them in return. Confidence isn't just about posture or presence, it's also in the way someone interacts. A woman who looks people in the eye when she speaks, who doesn't fidget nervously, who listens attentively and responds with certainty, she leaves an impression. A firm handshake, a genuine smile, a steady voice, all of these are small, seemingly insignificant details that add up to a larger, more powerful presence. People remember how you make them feel, and confidence makes people feel at ease. It gives them a sense of security, of trust, of admiration. The fascinating thing about confidence is that it isn't just about how you feel on the inside. It's about how you present yourself, even in moments of doubt. Everyone has insecurities, but the difference lies in how they are handled. A confident person doesn't need to announce their worth, they simply embody it. They don't seek validation because they already know their value. They don't compare themselves to others because they recognize their own uniqueness. Men notice when a woman enters a space without hesitation, when she speaks with certainty, when she moves with purpose. Confidence is attractive not because it demands attention, but because it doesn't need to. It's effortless, it's authentic, and it lingers in the mind long after a person has left the room. It's not about perfection, it's about self-acceptance. And that, more than anything, is what makes confidence one of the most captivating qualities a person can have. There is something incredibly special about a genuine laugh. It's one of those rare, unfiltered moments where a person's true self shines through. A real laugh is not rehearsed, not calculated. It's spontaneous, raw, and full of life. It comes from a place of pure joy, a reaction so natural that it cannot be faked. And that is exactly why it's unforgettable. Men notice when a woman laughs. Not just any laugh, but her real laugh, the one that comes out unexpectedly, the one that she might even try to hide. Maybe it's loud and full of energy, maybe it's soft and breathy, or maybe it's the kind that makes her throw her head back in pure amusement. Whatever it is uniquely hers, and that is what makes it so captivating. There is something about an unguarded laugh that makes a person instantly more attractive. It shows authenticity, a kind of honesty that is rare in a world where people often try to present themselves in a certain way. When someone laughs freely, without self-consciousness, it reveals a lot about them. It shows that they are comfortable in the moment, that they are not overthinking or holding back. It speaks of confidence, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that simply exists in being oneself. A genuine laugh has the power to change the energy of a room. It draws people in, makes them feel at ease, and creates an atmosphere of warmth and connection. It is also a sign of happiness, and happiness is magnetic. A woman who laughs often, who allows herself to fully enjoy the little moments of life, carries an energy that is infectious. It makes people want to be around her, to share in that joy. Men in particular take notice of this because laughter is a form of emotional expression that reveals so much more than words ever could. It's a glimpse into a person's spirit, into their ability to find lightness, even in the ordinary. What makes a real laugh unforgettable is not just the sound of it, but the feeling it creates. Think about a time when you heard someone laugh so genuinely that it made you smile without even knowing why. That kind of laughter stays with people. It becomes a memory, a moment that lingers long after the conversation is over. It's not something that can be forced or manufactured. It simply happens. And when it does, it leaves an impression. In a world where so much is curated, where people often try to present the most polished versions of themselves, a real laugh is refreshing. It is one of those rare things that cannot be controlled or planned, and that is precisely why it stands out. When a woman laughs with her whole heart, when she lets go of any hesitation and simply allows herself to enjoy the moment, that is something truly beautiful. And that is why men never forget the sound of a woman's real, unguarded laughter. Passion is one of the most powerful forces a person can possess. It has a way of drawing people in, capturing attention, and leaving a lasting impression. There is something deeply compelling about someone who speaks about what they love with energy and enthusiasm. It doesn't matter what the subject is. It could be a career, a hobby, a cause, or a dream. The sheer excitement in their voice, the light in their eyes, and the intensity in their expression make them stand out. Men notice this about women more than many realize. A woman who is deeply passionate about something radiates a different kind of energy. She becomes more interesting, more engaging, and more memorable. Passion isn't just about what you do, it's about how you do it. It's about the way you light up when you talk about something meaningful, the way your entire demeanor changes when you're in your element. There is an undeniable charm in watching someone lose themselves in what they love, in seeing them come alive with enthusiasm. It's not about having all the answers or being an expert. It's about having that fire, that drive, that undeniable excitement that makes people want to listen. Passion is magnetic because it is real. It cannot be faked or imitated. It comes from within. When a woman speaks about something that moves her, something that fuels her soul, it's impossible not to notice. Her voice becomes more animated, her gestures more expressive, and her presence more captivating. Passion is also a sign of purpose. It shows that a person has something that drives them, something that gives their life meaning. This is incredibly attractive because it speaks of depth, ambition, and commitment. It suggests that there is something she cares about beyond surface-level concerns, something that she invests her time, energy, and heart into. People are naturally drawn to those who are passionate, because passion is inspiring. It makes others want to be around that energy, to feel that same sense of excitement and purpose. Another reason passion is so magnetic is that it creates an emotional connection. When someone shares their passion, they are sharing a piece of themselves. It's an open window into their mind, their heart, and their soul. It allows for deeper conversations, for genuine connections that go beyond the ordinary. A man may not remember every detail of what a woman says, but he will remember the way she spoke about it, the way her face lit up, the way she leaned in with excitement, the way she made him feel in that moment. Passion also signals confidence. A woman who embraces her passions without hesitation, who isn't afraid to show her enthusiasm, exudes a level of self-assurance that is undeniably attractive. She doesn't hold back. She doesn't downplay what excites her, and she doesn't seek approval for what she loves. That kind of certainty and joy is something people are naturally drawn to. In the end, passion is more than just an interest. It is a force. It creates energy, sparks curiosity, and leaves a lasting impression. It is one of the most powerful qualities a person can have because it is real, it is contagious, and it makes them unforgettable. Kindness is one of the most powerful and memorable qualities a person can possess. It is a quiet strength, a reflection of character, and a sign of true confidence. Unlike physical beauty or material success, kindness cannot be faked, nor does it fade over time. It is something that stays in people's hearts long after an interaction is over. It is noticed in the smallest of moments, in the way someone treats others, in the way they offer warmth without expecting anything in return. Men, in particular, take notice of a woman's kindness often more than she realizes. It's not always about grand gestures or obvious acts of generosity. It's about the little things. The way she speaks to a waiter, the patience she shows with a stranger, the compassion she has for those who can do nothing for her. These things reveal the depth of a person's character. Kindness is a quiet language that speaks louder than words. It creates a presence that is comforting, a feeling that lingers long after she has left the room. There is a natural grace in kindness. It shows emotional intelligence, empathy, and an ability to see beyond oneself. A kind woman is not only aware of her own needs, but also of the feelings and experiences of those around her. She listens with intention, offers encouragement without being asked, and treats everyone with respect, regardless of their status or what they can offer in return. This type of kindness is rare, and that is why it stands out so much. More than anything, kindness is a sign of true confidence. It takes strength to be kind in a world that can often be harsh. It takes inner security to choose to uplift others instead of seeking attention or validation. A woman who is kind without needing recognition or approval carries a quiet power that is impossible to ignore. She does not seek to impress through words alone, but through her actions, and actions always speak the loudest. Kindness also has a way of making a person unforgettable. Long after a conversation is over, people remember how someone made them feel. They may forget the exact words spoken, but they will always remember the warmth, the generosity, the genuine care that was shown. This is why kindness is such an attractive quality. It creates a lasting impression that is deeper and more meaningful than anything superficial. Beyond attraction, kindness fosters deeper connections. It builds trust, creates emotional safety, and invites authenticity. A woman who leads with kindness allows others to feel seen, valued, and appreciated. She doesn't have to demand attention because her energy naturally draws people in. She doesn't have to prove her worth because her actions already reflect it. At its core, kindness is not just something people notice. It's something they feel. It leaves an imprint that cannot be erased, making it one of the most powerful and beautiful traits a person can have. In a world that often values appearance and status, true kindness remains one of the rarest and most extraordinary qualities that set someone apart. It's often the little things, the small, unconscious habits, that leave the deepest impression. These tiny quirks and mannerisms, the things people do without even realizing, have a way of standing out and becoming the most endearing qualities. While people may focus on grand gestures or polished appearances, it's the subtle, everyday behaviors that linger in someone's memory. Men in particular notice these little habits more than women may realize. These details reveal personality, authenticity, and a sense of charm that cannot be manufactured. There is something captivating about the way a person reveals themselves when they are not trying to impress. It could be the way a woman tucks her hair behind her ear when she's thinking, the way she bites her lip when she's focused, or the way her nose wrinkles slightly when she laughs. These small actions seem insignificant to the person doing them, but they hold a quiet magic for the person paying attention. They feel personal, intimate, like glimpses into who someone truly is beneath the surface. What makes these habits so appealing is their authenticity. In a world where so much is curated and intentional, these little quirks are unfiltered and genuine. They are not practiced or rehearsed. They simply happen. When a woman unconsciously hums a tune while she's working, or taps her fingers on the table when she's excited, it shows a piece of her personality without her even realizing it. It is in these unguarded moments that people feel a deeper sense of connection. These small habits also make a person more human and relatable. Perfection may seem appealing on the surface, but it is the imperfections and nuances that make someone truly unforgettable. A woman who spills her coffee when she's in a rush, who laughs at her own jokes, or who makes a funny face when she's confused, these things may seem trivial, but they create a sense of warmth and familiarity. They remind others that beneath appearances is a real person with their own unique way of moving through the world. Beyond their charm, these little habits often reveal emotional depth. The way someone adjusts their sleeves when they're nervous, the way their voice softens when they talk about something they love, or the way they light up when they see someone they care about. These actions speak volumes about a person's heart and character. They show vulnerability, passion, and a willingness to be fully present in the moment. Men notice these details because they create emotional imprints. While physical beauty may capture initial attention, it is these little habits that make someone unforgettable. They are the things that someone remembers when they are apart. The way her laughter fills a room, the way she tilts her head when she listens, or the way she sighs softly when she's deep in thought. These tiny, everyday actions become cherished memories that linger long after the moment has passed. In the end, it is not the grand gestures or perfect appearances that leave the deepest impression. It is the little habits, the ones that happen naturally, without effort, that make someone feel truly seen and remembered. These quirks are what make a person unique, and it is often these quiet, unspoken details that capture the heart in the most profound way. There is something undeniably beautiful about strength and resilience. It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's the quiet determination to keep going despite challenges, the grace with which a person carries their burdens, or the ability to rise after falling. True strength is not about never struggling. It's about facing adversity with courage and refusing to be defined by difficulties. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing oneself, and to grow stronger with every obstacle. These qualities are not just admirable, they are deeply attractive because they reflect character, depth, and an unshakable sense of self. Men notice a woman's strength not just in what she says, but in how she moves through life. A woman who holds her head high despite hardships, who refuses to let setbacks define her, carries a quiet power that commands respect. She doesn't need to announce her strength. It is evident in the way she carries herself, in the way she handles challenges with grace rather than complaint. There is something incredibly magnetic about a woman who is both gentle and unbreakable, someone who is kind but refuses to be walked over, someone who loves deeply but knows her worth. Resilience is what makes a woman truly unforgettable. Life is not without its struggles, and everyone faces moments of doubt, pain, or failure. But the way a person chooses to respond in those moments says everything about who they are. A woman who meets life's hardships with a sense of determination, who refuses to let difficulties steal her joy, is someone who radiates a different kind of beauty, one that goes beyond appearances. It's a beauty that is rooted in experience, wisdom, and the courage to keep moving forward. Strength is not about never needing help or never showing emotion. It is about knowing when to stand firm and when to lean on others. It's about acknowledging challenges while refusing to be defeated by them. A resilient woman is not someone who never struggles. She is someone who refuses to give up. She takes the lessons from her hardships and uses them to grow. She finds ways to move forward, even when the path is unclear. She trusts in her ability to handle whatever comes next. This kind of strength is inspiring. It encourages others to be strong too. A woman who has been through challenges and still chooses to see the good in life, who still loves, who still hopes, she carries a light that is impossible to ignore. She becomes an example of what is possible, proof that pain does not have to define a person, but can instead shape them into someone even more extraordinary. Attraction is often thought to be about appearance, but true beauty runs deeper. Strength and resilience create a presence that lingers, a depth that draws people in, and a sense of self-worth that cannot be shaken. It is in the way a woman overcomes, the way she rebuilds, the way she refuses to let life make her bitter. That kind of strength is rare, and that is why it is so incredibly beautiful.